All right. Hey, everybody. This is Nik Smolowski, Dr. Nik, for another GEOHOLICS Anonymous new video segment. Today, I've got my friend Charlie. Charlie, say hi to the camera, Charlie.
Hi, camera.
Charlie lives here in the Austin area. We are at the TNRIS conference today. So TNRIS is one of the organizations in the state of Texas that brings geographic and geospatial everything to the masses, government agencies, private sectors. Charlie, you've been coming to TNRIS for a few years. Could you maybe give me the down low?
I started coming here when I was a late life student at ACC. I came here on a student pass and then proceeded to continue coming here during the many years I was employed as a geospatial analyst with the city of Austin.
Okay.
And now as a retiree, I keep coming here because there's lots of cool people and I keep up with the industry.
So what I hear is us geospatial people, we're pretty dang cool. That's why you're still here, right? So if you want to get into a good profession out there, the public, geospatial it is, because even in retirement, you keep coming back, right? So you mentioned being a GIS analyst for the city of Austin. Mm-hmm. And over those years, what was one of the cooler projects you ever got to work on or most impactful?
My goodness. I worked for the Office of Real Estate Services.
Okay.
And that is the real estate agent entity for the city of Austin. And so every time that they were buying or selling property or leasing property, if it was a reasonable sized deal over a certain dollar amount, it had to get approved by council. Okay. So every time one of these packages had to go to council, it had an information package. Every time it had an information package, that information package, of course, had to include maps. Okay. So I made maps for all those info packages that got seen by city council for years. So you basically, your map making, your cartography helped decision makers for years impact the community here in Austin. Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds pretty awesome to me. How the city manages the property it owns. Yeah. My other big project was tracking all the property owned by the city of Austin. The city of Austin owns over 3,000 pieces of property, most of which are totally useless for building anything on. They're drainage swales, they're a couple hundred square feet, or they already have something like a library or a fire station built on them. They're floodplains. We own lots of acres of floodplains. But even though it hasn't rained so much here, raining now, kind of, but Texas could use some rain. But you still can't build in a floodplain. Fair enough. 3,000 properties. Wow, I would have never imagined, quite honestly. So, Charlie, I've met you a couple times. You're part of TNRIS. You come to the Austin Community College events, the ATX GIS days. Sure. But something about Charlie you may not know. Charlie has some very interesting extracurricular activities. Care to allude to what you like to do on the side? I'm a volunteer with a fundraising organization called Scare for a Cure, located at scareforacure.org on the internet. We are a charity haunt where all the people who work there and build it and perform and everything are all volunteers. And we raise thousands and thousands of dollars for charity. Our primary recipient is the Breast Cancer Resource Center of Austin, who got $50,000 from us last year. And we continue to increase that number a little bit every year. I am on the building team, I'm on the special effects team, the electrical team, the infrastructure team, and I'm also a performer. Wow, so really that's your job now. Pretty much. That's where I spend a lot of my volunteer time. That is awesome. If you're watching this on the internet, and it may not be live, we're getting close to Halloween, so the last couple weeks, you've been really involved. Lots of people coming through and having a good time? Oh, yeah. We have a lot of guests. We're sold out at this point for the rest of the season. We do 10 performances in October, on the 4 weekends in October. And basically, it's an hour-long experience. It's an interactive story where you have to collect items, collect information, use them later in the story. And at the end of the story, you find yourself making moral and ethical choices. And you also come out covered in stage blood. So it's a lot of fun. I like stage blood. I just realized on this, my name is Medium. So if everybody's like, who's Medium? But so apparently that's who I am here. Yeah. But we like to have fun on these GEOHOLICS Anonymous. You can
Also, probably hear the toilet in the background. This is a live conference, so it is what it is. But so, wow, that's like a whole nother level of like a haunted house.
We call it a haunted experience.
Last time I had a haunted experience, it was not a good night. So one more quick question for you in that regard, Charlie. You also, at the same facility, I think you run something called Quest Night?
Quest Night. We run that in the spring, usually about April. And it is a live-action D&D quest game. People come out in their groups and portray themselves as magic users or rogues or fighters or clerics. We take groups up to 6. If you're a larger group than that, we'll split you into 2 groups. And you come in, and if you want to wear costumes and stuff, that's wonderful, that's welcome. If not, we'll give you some basic stuff. Like if you're a magic user, you get a magic staff.
Okay.
If you're a rogue, you get a dagger, a rubber dagger.
Fair enough. Yeah. I figured.
And then there's a big wall of quests, and the captain of the guard is there, and the captain of the guard will help you pick out a quest.
That's awesome.
And you go and do a quest, and you come back and you turn it in, and you get points, and pick another quest, and go out and do another quest, and come back. And so we have adventure quests where you go and find a thing and take it to a place and trade it with somebody for another thing, and like that until you get the original, the correct thing back to the correct person. We have puzzle quests where you go to a location and solve a puzzle, a physical puzzle, usually requiring teamwork. And we have combat quests where you go to a location and engage in combat with an evil person or monster or something, which is resolved by rolling giant foam rubber dice.
The nerd in me I'm getting goosebumps. I love it. So if anybody just listen to that, it's basically a video game, but live. You get to go actually participate in the
Exactly.
questing. That is
exactly.
That's awesome.
Scareforacure.org.
Scare for the Cure. We'll make sure we'll get that up here. So in a second, you'll see it on the screen. One more question for you, Charlie. If you had to give a wise words of advice or something to the upcoming future, anything for that matter, you have a favorite quote, a mantra you live by?
I'd say GIS is a great field.
GIS is a great field.
I've thoroughly enjoyed being a member of the GIS community.
Oh, well, I did too. I still am. And, Charlie, really appreciate you being on this for a few minutes, talking about all the great things that you're working on. Again, one more time with the information for the website.
Scareforacure.org.
Perfect. Well, Charlie, thank you very much,
Nick.
sir.
Thank you, camera.
Thank you, camera. Bye-bye.